The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances. Now enjoy the show.
Hello, welcome to Tea and Herbalism with Lady D. And I'm Lady D. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be talking about chamomile. The chamomile's botanical name is Matricaria chamomile, and that's German chamomile. So there are several different chamomiles. There's also Roman chamomile, which is Chamaemelum nobile. And the name Matricaria means capable of everything. And it's a Latin form of mother or the mother because mothers are capable of everything. So today the tea we will be drinking is a nice blend of chamomile. And we're going to add rose, which I shared the other week, is good for it heals emotional pain and physical pain. And we're going to add a little Oatstraw. So this is a recipe that I got from Rosalee De La Foret. I mean, I said her name right, but it's her recipe from her book. And if you're interested in the book, it is called Alchemy of Herbs. I'll just show it to you real quick. This is her book. It has beautiful pictures in it. And actually, I found this recipe today. This is actually a picture of the chamomile flowers in her book. So I figured let's try this recipe and see what it tastes like. So, again, I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell this. It's amazing. So we're gonna, it says a tablespoon, so that's 3 teaspoons. So a tablespoon of chamomile. And if you were using fresh chamomile, you would need more than 1 tablespoon. So when the plant matter is dry, you can use less of it. So the fresh plant has water in it. And of course, dry, it's dry, so it doesn't. So I think it says a 1.5 teaspoon of rose petals. So we're going to eyeball it because this is a teaspoon from Tea Bloom. You guys heard me talk about it before. So I'm going to use like 1.5 of the roses. It's relaxing. And this is Oatstraw. Oat tops, actually. It's the top of the oats. And it's Avena sativa. It's a nervine, so it helps. See, it was ready to come out the jar. It helps relax the nerves. So I have somewhere to go. So hopefully this won't put me to sleep. But we shall see. I'm going to put that in there. Try and get all that back in the jar. Some fell on the floor, so we'll get it later. All right. So I'm going to mix it. And this is it all together. So I'm going to put it in my glass teapot. One of my favorites here. This glass teapot and everything is, and this is a part of it. Actually, I don't like the tea light. So it does a great job of keeping the tea warm. But as we did last week, I'm going to pour it from the glass teapot to something special. Okay. And I'm going to pour it in from my cast iron teapot. Look at that, how beautiful that is. Alrighty. Oops. I'm going to let some of the water go down. Okay. So it looks as though things are stuck. So I'm going to stir it up a little so that water can go down. That's the oats and the chamomile. It's a nice, it became a nice thick mixture. It doesn't really want to strain through. And that's okay. I think this is the first time I've had this happen, and that's fine. I'm going to add more water. Adapt and overcome. Another thing you could do is, like this teapot came with a strainer, you could put the plant matter in that and allow it to, if you guys can't see. Yeah. And then allow it to sit about 10 minutes and the water will eventually go down. But I want to get more water in this pot, so it's all ready to drink at the end of the show. And I formed a nice little suction too. This is fun. Something different happened. I'm gonna add a little bit more water, and then we get what we get. How's that? Sure, I have enough for a cup. We're going to cover it so that herbal goodness will stay in there. Sometimes things happen, and you just have to adapt and overcome. So, Lunar Love by Denise, where everything is handmade in small batches. You can reach me on my Etsy website or at my email address and place your order. I'm also known as Lady E. Thank you. So it should be ready soon. So what I want to share today is that I'm using this tea set for the first time. And this is my very first tea set that got it all started. My collection of teapots and tea sets. And I got that from the Salvation Army a couple years back. And ever since then, I've been buying teapots and tea sets and teacups. And it's been a fun journey. So let's talk about chamomile. So I was telling you it means the mother. A mother is capable of everything. So it means, yeah, capable of everything. So it's used as a tea, most commonly as a tea. So we're going to have tea today. You can also use it for babies for colic. So if you brew the tea and pour it in a bath, you can give them a bath in the tea of chamomile, and it will help ease the colic. It helps with diarrhea, insomnia, and indigestion. Now, last week when we talked about peppermint, we had the peppermint chamomile tea, and I shared the story of how my son he was vomiting, and I gave him the chamomile peppermint tea, and that eased the vomiting. So it eases diarrhea also. So again, it helps with gout. So if you have gout, it helps with sciatica, headaches, cold, fever, flu. So all that goes with that, colds, fever, and flu. If you have cramps like menstrual cramps or even muscle spasms and arthritis, it helps with that. So it's an anti-anxiety and a sedative. So that's what I was saying with the rose. Hopefully I won't fall asleep where I'm going later. So some people, and again, this is not approved by the FDA. So some people do use it as a folk remedy for cancer. So yeah. So the essential oil, and I have that here too. But this one is the Roman chamomile, Artemis nobilis. So and the other name for Roman chamomile is the Chamaemelum nobile. So anyway, the essential oil, because it's processed differently with steam, it is an antifungal, antibacterial, antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory, and an anti-allergenic. So the oil form is anti-allergenic because of the process that they use to extract the oil from the plant matter. So the energetics of chamomile is cooling and drying. So it cools you down and it dries things out. So if you have mucus, you can make a steam. So you can actually boil the chamomile in the or make the tea of chamomile, put it in a bowl, and cover your head with a towel and have that steam come up and meet you. It helps with mucus, it dries you out, and it has a bitter taste. And again, I mentioned it was an antispasmodic, so it decreases muscle tension and pain and spasms. So if you're having a muscle spasm, it should be able to help with that. And it's also gentle and effective. So that's why you can use it for babies externally because it's gentle. Babies need gentle things.
Someone was detected at your front door.
So, again, chamomile is one of the most widely used medicinal plants and herbal tea ingredients in the world. So that's how well known it is, and it's used by many people. And a lot of times you will go to the grocery store and get a tea bag of chamomile. So this is actually going to be stronger because it's a loose leaf, and I'm able to control how much I'm getting. So I'm put more out than you would have got in just a tea bag. So I'm not going to bash tea bags today because I do use tea bags for certain things, but if I have the actual herb, that's what I'm going to use to make the tea from. So I do want to say there's a warning that people who are allergic to ragweed or chrysanthemums should not take chamomile because they're in that same family, which I actually failed to mention. It's in the Asteraceae family. So in my video I did the other week, I showed a little plant in the yard. It's actually in the chamomile family, but it's called fleabane, but it's still in that same family, and it looks quite similar to chamomile. So let's check on the tea. Gotta just help it out. Actually, let me put it in front of me so you can see. I'm just trying to let the liquid go through the holes. And I think we have enough to pour. I originally was going to take this out, put it on the plate, which now I don't think I am. But I will still show you this plate. It is the cutest thing. So this is one of the items I ordered from Quirky Cup Collective. And I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. Not one of the last ones. But it says Stay Wild Moonchild. Yeah. And it has the constellations and the moon phases. I was trying to see if it has zodiac. It has the zodiac constellations with the zodiac names. And then it has the moon phases and the star in the middle. So we're going to pour it into this smaller, the very first tea pot. Okay. All right. And this is hot because it was on that tea light, had the tea light candle going. Just trying to pour out the top. That's funny. So hopefully more will strain. Yeah, it's dripping now. Now that there's less at the bottom. See that? It's starting to drip. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pour it into one of these cute little cups here. I'm going to have to show you this beautiful color, which you may or may not have seen. But there it is. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a golden. So what I haven't done is sweeten the tea. And I like sweetening. So since we use rose in this tea blend today, you know what I'm bringing out, right? The rose honey. Actually, there was one more ingredient. It was vanilla bean. So I have a vanilla bean without vanilla extract. So, okay. I'm going to use some of this rose honey. I actually added more honey to it the other day, so I could just continue having this rose goodness. So today we learned that chamomile means the mother, and that is soothing. We use it for babies. We use it for pain, physical pain, spasms, help stop spasms. And if you have insomnia, need to sleep, it can help ease that so you can get some rest. And also you can use it as a steam if you're congested. And it's just relaxing. It helps you if you have diarrhea or vomiting. So let's taste this tea. That's good. Quite delicious. And that is from Rosalee De La Foret in this beautiful book I showed you. I want to thank you for joining me today for Tea and Herbalism, learning about chamomile with Lady D. And if you want to donate, you can donate to the network, the United Front Network. You can go to PayPal and donate to Our Gains II. And if you want to cash out me so I can continue to buy tea sets and plant materials, herbs, so that we can continue to share together. My Cash App is Naturalista D. So it's $ Naturalista D. And again, just continue to like, share, subscribe, and if you want to know about a particular herb, put it in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram at LadyD4440. Thank you.